Hi again, and welcome to my Cro-hook tutorial. Cro-hooking, crochet knit, crochet on the double, all the same thing. It's similar to Tunisian, but different in the way it's worked and in the hook that you use. Tunisian hook has, look at one end, looking in the camera here we go. Look at one end like this, but then it has a stopper at the end like a knitting needle does. That's for Tunisian. You only work in one direction. However, with Cro-hooking, you use a double-ended hook. There's a hook at this end and one at the other end, because you're going to turn your work and work at both ends. That's the difference. Now to start out, I've just made a small chain, 13 chains long. I'm going to put my hook in my first loop. I'm going to skip my first chain and go in the second chain, just like you do with regular crochet. Now, I'm going to go through the top loop and the bar. You don't have to. You can just go in the top loop. I prefer to go under the bar, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put my hook inside in the chain. I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and I'm going to leave my loop on the hook. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to push it back a little. Then I'm going to go to my next chain, put in my hook, yarn over, pull through, I have another loop on my hook. And I'm going to continue to do that for each chain down the row. Oops, wait a minute. Try that one again. Whenever I mess up, it's because I'm looking at the camera. So, but I do have to look at it once in a while to make sure that you can see what I see. Okay, there we go. So now we have our stitches on. And now we're going to turn our hook around. And we're going to push our loops down to the other end of the hook, like so. And we're going to take a contrasting color yarn. You can use the same color. It's easier to use a contrasting color to see. So that's what we're going to do. And when you start out, it's easier to use a contrasting color so you can figure out what you're doing with your stitches. I'm going to make a slip knot, put it on the end of my hook. Okay. Now I'm going to take that loop and I'm going to pull it through the first stitch on my hook, okay, to start. Now I'm going to yarn over again. I'm going to pull through that loop and the next loop, a red and white, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing all the way down. I'm going to yarn over, pull through red and white, yarn over, pull through red and white, yarn over, red and white, all the way down. Yarn over, do 2 loops, each stitch down the row. And you have to give a little bit of a tug at the end because your yarn is a little loose. So keep your loop a little bit tight. Work your stitches loosely. Don't work too tight. It makes it easier to get into your bar on your next go round. Now, from now on, you're going to work 2 rows in each color. Now, you'll work 1 row up and then 1 row back. I've already worked my 1 row up in red. Now I'm going to work 1 row back. Now to do that, I'm going to skip this bar here. We call this the vertical bar, okay? I'm going to go into the next bar with my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through just the one loop, the white loop, pull it up, and there I've brought my first stitch back on. I'm essentially casting the stitches back on. Go into your next vertical bar, yarn over, pull through, keep your stitch on the hook, and just do that all the way down the line. Yarn here. Whoops.